Hello, this is Justin with Green Residential. In this video, we're going to talk about roof leaks during a rainstorm. Let's get started. So, if you have a roof leak and it's raining outside, you're unable to get up onto the roof and conduct any temporary repairs, my suggestion is to try to contain the water that's coming in, prevent it from doing any more damage than what it may have already done to the house. Now, this may include putting buckets out to catch any water. Once you've done that, and if you're feeling a little adventurous, you want to try to find out where that water's coming from, my suggestion is to get up into the attic if you're able to. It's going to be challenging figuring out where that water is coming from inside the house, as water can enter the structure in one place, move sideways, and then drip down somewhere else into the house. So if you are able to get up into the attic, I recommend doing so. Now, there are many different places where water can enter into the attic, any little penetration, any little opening. However, there are places that are more likely to have a leak. Some of those are chimney penetrations, plumbing vents, exhaust vents, anywhere where something goes through the roof. These areas are common areas where leaks over time can occur. Another one is a valley where two sloping planes meet in a roof. That is another common area. So I would start my investigation at these points where you have penetrations going through the roof or a valley. I would look for any active water leaks. I would look for any signs of moisture. Another area where you can find leaks is any nail that goes through the sheathing or decking. If they're not sealed correctly on the outside or the exterior part of the roof, water can be channeled down through that nail and drip into the insulation. So if you see any nails that have dripping water, you have just found a leak. Leak detection is tricky stuff. It's not easy to do, but if you're observant and patient, you may find that leak, the source of the leak, where it's coming from. Just doing that is very helpful. That can allow you to focus where your repairs should be. If you do find the leak, you want to take action to stop that water from causing further damage. I recommend getting a bucket up there or whatever you can get up there to contain that water. You don't want it hitting the insulation and the drywall. You'll also want to check on it regularly so that it doesn't overflow or get too full to where you can't empty it out easily. If water has already soaked the insulation, I would remove any wet insulation. That's just going to be a sponge that will trap that water against the drywall, causing further damage. Once that insulation is removed, that wet insulation, I would try to dry up any puddles of water that you see on the drywall. Believe it or not, drywall can actually handle a fair amount of water as long as that water is flowing over it and it has a place to go. Typically what happens in these type of situations, water will make it through the insulation and hit the drywall. It will then move laterally and follow the lowest path. Usually that leads to a light fixture. So if you have a recessed light or really anything that creates a break in the drywall, it could be an AC register, an exhaust fan. Many times you'll see that water on the inside of the house dripping out of a light fixture or a ceiling fan, a smoke detector, an exhaust fan, you name it. Anything that causes that break in that drywall could be a potential exit for that water up in the attic. If you do see water dripping through a light fixture or a ceiling fan, I recommend not using that light or ceiling fan or whatever it is. In fact, it might be safer turning the breaker off to that light fixture or ceiling fan. Another common path that water tends to take is it will travel along the seam of where two pieces of drywall meet. That taped seam can be a low spot and a channel for water to travel, and you'll see the damage on the inside of the house from that. If you do have a leak and the water is pooling on top of the drywall in the attic, that is going to lead to failure. So drywall can handle a decent amount of water flowing over it, but if it's just piling up and dead ending on the drywall, there's no place for it to go and it's creating a pool of water, what you'll probably start seeing is the drywall warping and bulging, and then at a certain point, it's just going to fail. My recommendation is if you do see that starting to take place, is to take action. If you have the ability to drill a small little hole to where the water that is pooling can drain out, you will save yourself a potential large repair, and it's still going to be a repair. It's just going to be a smaller repair versus a much larger repair. Once that drywall reaches that breaking point, it will fail and collapse, and you'll have a bunch of drywall and insulation come raining down from the attic into the house. Well, I hope this video was helpful. If you did find it helpful, it'd be much appreciated if you hit that thumbs up button. You know, we put out videos like this on a regular basis. They include simple repairs that many homeowners can do and general house knowledge. I'm so glad you caught this video. I hope you catch my next one. Have a great day, and bye for now.